Hello everyone, it's me, John Park, and we are ready to get started with another evening of show and tell. We've got about a half hour to show some projects. People are going to come by and give us a little tour of something they've been working on, which is always a lot of fun. I'm excited to see what people are up to. And first of all, I'll say, if you're wondering how to get here, if you want to show something or tell, head to our blog. You'll see a blog post about show and tell, or go to our Discord, and there's a link in the Discord. You can join up, and we'll bring you right on in. So first off, I'm going to bring on our good friend Kevin Walseth from DigiKey. Hello, Kevin. How's it going?
Hey, John. How you doing? It's going good.
I'm doing well.
I am obviously not in my home office. I am actually at DigiKey headquarters today.
And it's not just a green screen effect. This is somewhere you really are.
Not. It is not. I am in the skyway between our old building, our legacy building, and the new building that we should be launching. We've got some testing going on, and it's being used a little bit, but officially launching early Q1 of 2022. So it's really exciting. And
That's really cool.
I can't wait to actually walk around in one of these show and tells and show you a little bit more.
What's that behind you there? Is that a conveyor belt or something?
It is a conveyor belt. So this is a conveyor belt. That door behind me right there is going into our legacy building, our old building. And if I spin this way, this conveyor will run parts between the old building and way back there is the new building.
Oh,
so this is a skyway. It goes right over the top of a road. And the thing I actually want to show and tell, the reason I'm in the skyway, there is a reason for it. I'm going to switch my camera and flip it around really quick. Okay, can you see my other camera?
We see it, yep.
All right, I'm going to try getting a shadow here. So up in the window, 20 months ago, I created this sign up in our window. All of these letters are about 3 feet tall.
Oh, wow.
And I decided to come in the office today and make it a little festive. And this thing has been going, it's been going for 20 months straight. It has not shut off.
Oh,
and it's using, excellent. Each letter has its own Circuit Playground Express and 240 neopixel strip for each letter.
Wow.
So it's pretty impressive that it has not turned off.
That's terrific.
I had one power supply go out during the entire time.
That's impressive. So the Skyway here, it looks like if you get a good head of steam, you could take a scooter or a bike across that, or if you're feeling lazy, can you just hop a ride on the conveyor belt, or do they frown upon that?
They definitely frown upon that, but there are bicycles around. There are, I know there are some motorized scooters. I haven't actually used one.
Yeah.
But it's an impressive facility, and like I said, I can't wait to do a tour of what it looks like inside the building.
Oh, that's great.
It's really, really dark, and actually it's Minnesota and it's raining out right now, so it's really odd. But if it was light out, I'd love to show you the entrance, but maybe another night.
That's unseasonably warm if you don't have snow, isn't it?
It is. It was 36 degrees today, and it's supposed to get down to, I think, around 1 or 2 tonight.
Woo! That's not enough degrees. You need more.
No, it's not.
Sorry about that. Well, really cool. Thanks for the tour through just the connector, and we can't wait to see the full building itself when that's ready for a tour.
Yeah, and I can't wait to show you. And like I said, hopefully early 2022, I can get in there and give you guys a sneak peek of where your boxes come from.
Yeah.
But about 5 minutes before the show, there's totes coming across this conveyor. I wish it was running while I was here. So.
Oh, that's neat. Yeah, that'd be really cool to see when it's in action. Excellent. Well, thanks so much, Kevin. We'll see you next time, and have a happy holidays and happy New Year if I don't see you before then.
And you do the same. Take care, everybody.
Thanks. All right, that's pretty dang cool. Next up, we've got our friends Chris Young and Bill Binko to talk about an assistive technology project. Let me bring these guys on. Hey guys, and let me know if and when you want to share screens, and I'll pop up. I can only do one screen at a time. Share screen.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. How are you guys? Great to see you, John and Chris. Good. Glad you could make it.
Yeah.
So we actually had an eventful week over the past week, and not something we wanted to be doing at all. But I'm really proud of how it turned out. I know that they're going to show the there's a video I made of it that Phil's going to show on Ask an Engineer, so I won't go through all of the whole shebang here. But basically, if you guys remember, you can share my screen here for a second. If you remember when we first started working with you guys, we were helping a little girl named Ella Hunt to drive her power chair using 2 switches. And the problem was she only had 2 switches to drive, and that wasn't enough. So we created a device. It was one of the first things we did at AT Makers. And unfortunately, Ella went in about a month ago to have spinal fusion surgery, and everything went wrong. So she came out with her cognitive function intact, all her personality still there. She's still super cute, goofy kid. But she definitely had severe hypoxia, lack of oxygen. And one of the problems that came out was her fingers that activated those switches won't move like they used to. So we actually did a big event. We had all the engineers at AT Makers, got invites. Dan Halbert helped us from Adafruit to come up with some kind of new switch for her. And so we put together this ridiculous suite of things to test with her to see what would work, and we found some that worked. And because Chris is in Indianapolis, which is down the road, I went down there after we had done some measurements. Let me show you here. Judy Schoonover, an occupational therapist, and I went and tried all the sensors and figured out what would work with her. And then I went down to Chris's in Indianapolis, and he and I worked to make her a solution. So Chris, you want to show what we did?
Yeah, if you can switch over to my screen share. This is a little force gauge that she can put her finger on, and we made a little 3D printed mount for it. And a guy named Dmitry, what's his last name, Bill?
Votenchev from Google.
Yeah, Dmitry Votenchev put together this little force gauge. And the problem is she can't lift her finger off of it. It rests there, but then she can apply additional pressure. And so that's where the force gauge comes in. And so she was able to successfully operate that. And we'll show you in the video during Ask an Engineer. You'll see her operating her iPad and really lighting up the fact that she's up to using her finger back. And that little mount that we made there, that was sort of a hurried thing. So I designed a new case with a battery and a finger and a relay wing. And then, this pivots to whatever angle do you need. Oops.
We'll ship that out to her.
Yeah.
Replace the one we have. And then, do you want to show the one on your cheek, Chris? Oh,
Yeah,
look at you.
So there's what we're saying. So anyway, we can go back to me for just a second. You notice that white thing attached to my glasses. On the end of that is a VCNL 4040 infrared proximity sensor. And when I wink my eye, you can go back to the screen share, you'll see this graph. When I wink my eye, the graph goes up. When I relax my eye, it goes back down again. So it's sensing my cheek position.
That's great. Yeah.
And we made one of those for Ella as well, and she was able to activate it. So now she has the touch sensor on a force gauge plus the cheek sensor, and both of them are working really well.
That's
one more
terrific.
quick thing before I go. This is an anniversary for me. I first appeared on Show and Tell back in December of 2012, and that's me and Phil on the mower. They were hosting Show and Tell out of their apartment, as you can probably tell there.
That's really great.
Neither Phil or I have that much dark hair anymore.
Things have changed a little, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so
That's
December
great.
2012 was my first appearance on Show and Tell. It's been a pleasure to come back year after year.
Yeah, we're so glad that you started coming and have continued to join the show and tells. That's really great. Blast from the past. Well, thank you guys, and thanks for sharing some of the behind the scenes on the sensors and mounts. and the
be
effort
sure-
going into that for Ella.
Be sure to stay tuned for the video during Ask an Engineer.
Yeah, definitely. Everyone
really
watch that.
touching.
It's really terrific. Thanks,
And
guys.
all you guys at Adafruit too. You're really a blessing. So happy New Year and Merry Christmas to all of you.
Likewise. Thanks, guys.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye. That's fantastic. Yeah, definitely stay around for Ask an Engineer after this show, and you'll get to see the full video of that and Ella putting those 2 new technologies to use. All right, let's see. Next up, we are going to bring on Noe and Pedro and see what's new over there. Hey, guys.
Hey guys.
what's up, Jay?
Oh man, it's so heartwarming. Here we go. Yeah, so this week we're showing off the awesome app that Trevor and Antonio and Scott and a whole bunch of the other people at the core CircuitPython team have been working on. This is called PyLeap and Glider. So first, PyLeap has the ability to send over like some of the project bundle files that are on the Learn system. So you can just send those over to our BLE-enabled Bluetooth
That's cool.
enabled boards. And it's cool. It's not a special UF2. It's just like default, CircuitPython 7. So that's freaking awesome. And then the other one is Glider, which allows you to, on the go, bring that up a little bit. So you can check out the directories that are on your CircuitPy drive and edit the code on there. So if you're like an educational setting or cosplayer on the con
So
floor
cool.
and you got to change sensor values around, or like the color doesn't match or it's too bright or something, you can go ahead and just wirelessly over the air switch everything around. So super cool. Just change the color there, make it a little purple
That's-
for Blinka. Hello,
That's
1, 2.
So cool. Oops,
Dude,
I've
I
ruined
think
everything
the
here.
coolest. No, I think the coolest example that we show in the video is going onto our Dropbox, grabbing a WAV file, downloading that directly to the CircuitPy drive. Takes a little bit. I didn't, I showed downloading it to your main iOS device because it's a little bit faster, but that works. Proof of concept.
That's
that
so
works.
cool.
So freaking awesome. Like, this is the stuff that like makes me jump out of bed and keep working. 'Cause, like
That is fantastic. I can't wait to play with this. And this is, it's kind of how it should work. And it's the kind of thing that, I don't mean to call anyone out, but Apple has been battling people doing this sort of thing for so long. Like, come on, why is it taking this long to make it easy to go from a mobile device to a microcontroller? This
Right,
is-
yeah, they had to. Antonio and Trevor had to battle a couple of the frame rate
Aye.
stuff works. So, but they did it. It's so freaking cool. Like
Really
waves,
cool.
MP3s, like you can view all that, and it works with the native files app, whatever.
Oh,
You
great.
can copy and paste through there. Just the way you just can tap, hold, copy stuff
Yep.
over. You can paste it right into file later.
Okay,
Oh my
that's
God,
really cool.
so freaking
I've been aware this has been in the works, and I haven't touched it yet. And in 2022, I can't wait to dive in and
Download
play
it.
with this because this is really, really helpful.
Yeah, so
The beta for both of them is up right now, so if folks want to play with it and test it out, please do so.
Yeah.
We have the
We'll post the
links in the YouTube video, and we'll post the link in Discord too.
yeah, we forgot.
it.
We didn't have the file glider guide or download file, but you can
Uh-huh.
check out the test flight. We'll post the link in the
Great.
Discord.
Yeah, there's
It's so
a
freaking
link over in the
amazing.
chat.
And then real quick,
Really
if anyone
cool.
wants to show off real quick the
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
what's
this is,
this?
for next week we got a little. So you've seen some acrylic signs we've done before. So this kind of takes many of them and stacks them together. So we have 8 of them here. I got a QT Py RP2040 running it, and it's just a single NeoPixel strip. So the idea is to take a NeoPixel strip and a little 3D printed diffuser bit that kind of isolates the LEDs so they don't leak into the other bits. And then this little gray piece on top just has a little slot that fits a 1/4 inch acrylic. Yeah, you could laser cut these, or you could maybe play around with like a lithopane type style thing. That would look really cool too. But the idea is just to have like a NeoPixel strip, and then put some nice little signs on it, so you can kind of stack them to make like a little animation. So
really
that's going to
nice.
be next week's project.
Beautiful.
Thanks. Yeah, hopefully we come up with both the video and guide this week. But we'll try to
Good
get
luck.
the guide out first.
It's the race to
Yeah,
the
right.
end here at the
Yeah,
end of the
it
year.
is, yeah. I think we'll do the guide.
And I think
But
that's
fantastic.
awesome.
yeah. So hopefully
right.
this will be the last one for the year. So
Good.
put the little 2022 on there.
Yeah, a nice
Cool.
one. All right. Well, thanks guys so much, and
thank you.
have a good holidays and New Year's, and I'll see you soon.
Same
You too.
ones.
Likewise. Bye.
All right. Next up, we've got our own Scott Tannu, who's been busy putting links up in the chat. Thanks for that. Hey.
No problem. Hey, John, how are you doing?
Good, thanks. What's new?
Oh, well, the PyLeap stuff has been in the works for a while, and I put those links
Yeah.
in there if folks want to try it. There's definitely bugs still, so let us know. And we're going to have to get a process for figuring out how to help folks debug. But please give it a try. It is, I think, very magical when it works, so very exciting. So
Yeah.
give that a shot. What I wanted to show today was I was actually... I use a split keyboard, and I wanted to try a different one. So I got, this is half of a keyboard. And this is a Soffle, S-O-F-L-E. Maybe that's the right way to pronounce it. I'm not sure. This is the first time I've used a KB2040, which I'm very excited about. And I think the first time I've used Key Matrix as well. So I've got the other half on my desk here that I'm working on. And I'm hoping to make like a very simple example that uses the QMK configuration editor, so that when I want to like switch my keys are, or what my keys are, I just go onto the QMK thing and switch it there, and then download the JSON file.
Right. So if people don't know, that's a
it.
web-based configurator that lets you graphically decide what keys do what and layers of keys, and then you're sort of leveraging that to get a JSON file out of the end of it, right?
Right.
That's terrific.
Rather than the way that it works currently for QMK is you would actually you would have to rebuild your whole QMK firmware and reload that with the new thing. But with
you'll have
CircuitPython
CircuitPython and a JSON looking at that as a key map essentially, or do you read a JSON or do you convert that into a Py file?
No, I'm just reading the JSON file straight away. It's nice. It's only like a 5K JSON file, so it's very straightforward. The one wrinkle I had is that like in keyboards you have like columns and rows, right? And you can number each one based on like where it is in the column and then what row it's on. But there is a little wrinkle in the numbering compared to how the QMK layout is. So like my bottom row is all messed up, unfortunately. So I've got to figure out how to handle that like one last piece of like the QMK mapping, not mapping directly to the
pin out
rows and columns. But then I think it'll also be handy. I was thinking about making a like utility class that handles all of the QMK style stuff and interprets it back into like our USB stuff as well. So like in the layout, it will have like KC_A, right, for the A key. And so I think I'll make a library that converts that string code
key code A
into the A. Yeah.
Excellent.
So hoping to maybe over the holidays I'll polish this up enough to swap out my existing keyboard.
Fun.
Yeah.
Snazzy looking keyboard. And is that usually what's the connector? I always forget this. How do you connect the two halves of the keyboard?
It's usually a TRS cable. So I'll show you both. So what's cool is that it's actually the same PCB twice, just flipped over.
Neat.
Which is pretty cool. And then this, of course, has a case as well. So I can actually test each side on its own. And they have two independent KB2040. So I'm thinking a lot about also like what sort of like protocol you talk between the two. And I have some weird stuff on my mouse as well. So the like 3 microcontrollers kind of need to collaborate on deciding what the keyboard's actually doing at any one point.
And with those, you plug in one KB 2040 over USB, and it handles half of the key stuff, and the other one is just talking serial over the TRS cable. And
that was my plan. Is over the TRS, I think I'll just have a very simple like, it's each byte says it's a press or a release of a particular code, and then everything else happens on the other side.
Neat.
Although, like, it also makes sense to just have both do their own side over USB in case you actually, like, you could theoretically have them both plugged in and acting independently. They just can't influence the other side then.
Yes, right. If you wanted to do lighting things or...
or like macro layers where you're like holding a button on one side and you want all of the key codes on the other side to change.
That makes sense. Cool. You're into a deeper level of keyboard stuff with that. It's an interesting challenge.
Yeah, I don't want to. There's a great project called KMK that's very comprehensive with all the QMK stuff, but I'm hoping to shoot for the like minimalism side of things.
I dig that.
Which is where I tend to end up. I tend to build from the Python layer up.
Good. Great. Well, thank you so much. I'm gonna get get you out of here and try to whip through some. We have a bunch of great looking guests on here, and just a couple minutes per guest will do it. Thank you, Scott, so much. Happy holidays, and we'll see you in the new year. All right. Next up, we got Todd Bot. He is everyone's favorite robot and personal friend of mine. Hey, Todd, what's new?
Hey, so I've been playing around with the Mozzie, the Oscatone Scout, and I've been installing Mozzie, which is a really old but comprehensive synthesis library for Arduino. And the inside this little Oscatone, this is what it sounds like normally.
Okay, it's cute.
And so it's cute. It uses the Arduino tone function, and because this is internally just the same as an Arduino Uno, it's like super simple. But with my experiments with Mozzie Scout, I've decided to change it a bit so it sounds a little better, I think. And so.
Oh. Hey. Yeah.
And this actually has there's no other UI besides the keys. So I have it on power up. You can select different sort of settings. So in this setting, it'll do this sort of like filter modulation.
Ooh, wobbly.
Yeah, it's very nice. And in this setting, it'll do triangle waves instead of smooth. Instead of smooth. And then this one has like no filter modulation. Oh, except a very slow one. Yeah. But this is in the software, it's pretty amazing. Like go back to my screen share for a sec. So in the software, Mozzie has these objects like oscillator, ADSR, low pass filter, and then you can just do things like set the frequency of the filter modulation, set the frequency, set the various levels of your envelope ADSR. In the key thing, when a key is pressed, it just does oscillator set frequency, and then it's MIDI to, this is a little MIDI to note function they give you to create go from like a MIDI note to a frequency. A float frequency. And this has two oscillators, with one being slightly detuned, so it has a nice little going for it.
Yeah. Oh, it's excellent.
Yeah, and so this is all on an Arduino class device. It's just sort of nuts. But if you want to play with it,
it's a 328, right?
It's 80 mega 328 from 2006, basically. But the Oscatone Scout plans are all open source. But I bought this kit because I wanted to support him because he's awesome. I built the kit and I'm like, you know what? I've always wanted to play with Mozzie, and this seems like a great platform for that. So
very cool. And you did a little bit of a hack to talk to some pins differently, right?
One of the
how
problems
it was laid out on the board.
Yeah, one of the problems is he used pin 9, which is, pin 11, which is in a lot of the Arduino tone examples. But Mozzie, because of the way the timers work on the ATmega 328, needs to use pin 9 for timer 2. And so if you open up the board and kind of bend out the pins and solder them around, you can sort of swizzle, like do a hardware swizzle of pins 9 and 11. And then you can use all the Mozzie code that's out there that works for Arduino.
Great hack. I want to try that. I wish we could hear some more from you, but we got to run. I'm going to bring on some other guests. Thank you so much for showing that. All right, next up we'll bring in Chelsea and Carl, so get ready. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. We've been playing with your stuff for a while, making boards with LED lights. This is our newest board. It's a Christmas tree, and we're running it.
That's a nice looking tree.
We're running on your QT Py and your Featherboard, the RP2040.
Those are gorgeous.
And so, we'd like to send you one as gratitude, just for the holiday cheer. Can we send you guys something?
Ping us on Discord and we'll chat. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So are you using like cutouts and backlighting? How are you getting? It almost looks like different sizes of ornaments on those.
This is the same.
It is. It's the lighting that
each time. We just did a PC board, very low cost, and our chip is on.
Great.
I'll show you the chip's on the back. Let's see. chips on the back. It's a LED driver for RGBs, and we got a stemma connector.
Yeah.
And we put a couple LEDs on here for power, and we put one on the data line so you can see the data activity. Because one of the features with our chip is very low data to do all this stuff.
That is great. You have really advanced the art of the LED Christmas tree here. These are great.
And we're also doing a little tiny indicator part. This is a 2x2 chip to do 4 RGBs.
Oh, yeah.
And, like if you needed a product that had some like battery indicators or some things like that on it.
Very nice.
And that's running also on your QT Py.
Really great. Well, thank you so much for showing that. Those are adorable. I love them.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to move on to the next, but thank you so much for showing those. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Thank you. All right, this is going to be the Blitz round, starting with Liz, Blitz City DIY. Hello. Hey, Liz.
How's it going?
Good, thanks.
So I published a new Learn Guide today with these MIDI stomping pads. And they're these 3D printed squares with some springs. And then there's copper foil sheet. So when they make contact, basically like...
Nice. Yeah.
And they're all hooked
those
up to
are
the
great.
Playground Express. And the LEDs change colors, the neopixels change colors. They're renew. So.
Love them. Those are great. And did you say your guide came out today?
Yes, today. Yeah.
Fantastic. Oh, I'll have to go and look at that. Those are really cool.
All the files and everything.
And what's holding them together? Because those are spring-loaded, but why are they not flying apart from each other? What's the mechanism here?
Hot glue.
Ah, all right.
Hot glue on
So they're
each
glued
side
to
of
the springs. Oh, yeah, smart.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a
Very
little
cool.
indent in the corners so it can like sit in.
It hooks it in, hooks the spring. Really nice. Thank you for sharing that and for doing a guide on it.
Of course, yeah, no problem.
Take care.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we've got about 3 minutes left, and we've got Paul T. Hi, Paul.
Hey, how's it going, John? What's new and exciting?
Great. Well, all the stuff you people are showing. So what do you have to add? Because this stuff's been great.
Well, so there's this computer that I've been working on for a while now called the Rivet 65, which it consists of a CPU, memory, etc. board, and then an I/O board.
Oh, wow.
And I had an issue with both of those boards where I had to respin them, and I got the respin back on the CPU board, and it was great. The respin,
memory.
I didn't fix the I/O board, so I was very disappointed when they came back. But anyway, the big thing that I've been working on now is I wrote a disassembler for the computer. So this is just like bare bones 6502. And if I do that, let me do that as well. Oh, excuse me. So normally, if you wanted to look at your code in a machine language monitor, you do like PEOOO, and that gives you a page dump. And boy, that's difficult to read. But I've written this disassembler, so if I do R8700, and I've preloaded the start and stop addresses for the it's going to the printer. How convenient.
Oh, that's great.
So
that was unexpected.
That was unexpected. I had forgotten that I had switched it. So basically, let me stop that. The one of the things that I'm working on is a common I/O handler for the system, so that basically you just pick a peripheral and there's an abstraction layer over it, and you either send or receive, as opposed to you've got to know how 6551 works. You have to know how the SPI or the I2C or all these different peripherals work. It's just with this I/O layer, you just pick the peripheral and send the data. And so I had forgotten that I had repointed it to the printer instead of the second serial port.
Are you documenting this process and the build somewhere that people can go check it out? Yeah,
actually, I have a blog, Ribbit Nerding.
Okay.
And it's
Don't put that in the chat.
with I'll put it in the chat. It's Ribbit with 3 B's, and nerding with a 3 for the E.
Yes.
.blogspot.com.
Okay.
I'm also on Facebook, and
Super.
I've got a YouTube channel. So,
Oh, excellent, Paul.
but yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's been
Thank
a real
you.
learning experience. Thanks.
Yeah, that was delightful. All right, take care.
You too.
All right.
Bye.
All right, we've done it. We've hit the mark. So it is time for Ask an Engineer coming up next. So I'm going to go. I want to thank everyone for all the fantastic show and tell projects you brought on today. And I wish you a happy holidays and happy New Year. If I don't see you, I'll be on tomorrow with my workshop show, and then off for a little vacation. So thanks everyone for Adafruit Industries. I'm John Park. This has been Show and Tell. Stick around for Ask an Engineer coming up next.